Hello everyone, I am Mahbi Maulaya. I'm a student of International Relations at Universitas Muhammadiyah Yogyakarta. Have you ever heard about an international organization called as Organization for Islamic Cooperation? I'm sure that you have heard that name before, but I want to make sure. Do you know exactly what the organization is, why it was formed, and what is its role? In this video, I would like to explain to you some basic information about OIC and its role in solving the financial issues of the Muslim world. If we look back to its historical foundation, the Organization for Islamic Cooperation was established in Rabat, Morocco on September 25, 1969. A tragedy of an arson attack by an allegedly mentally ill Australian tourist at Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem on August 21, 1969 became the trigger for the foundation of this organization. And one might say that the original goal of the early 25 members of OIC at the time was to liberate Al-Aqsa Mosque after Israel's occupation of Jerusalem. Nowadays, OIC consists of 57 member states and are located primarily in North Africa, the Near East, and South Asia. If we combine their geographical aspect, they would cover an area of 31.66 km with a population of about 1.89 billion. This corresponds to about 24.38% of the world populations. To apply for memberships at OIC, there are certain rules that the prospectus countries should abide. According to OIC Charter, Chapter 2, Article 3, any state member of the United Nations having Muslim majority and abiding by the Charter, which submits an application for membership, may join the organization if approved by consensus only by the Council of Foreign Ministers on the basis of the agreed criteria adopted by the Council of Foreign Ministers. The supreme organ of the OIC is the Islamic Summit Conference, which meets every 3 years and is attended by the government leaders of the member states who gather to decide policies to solve Ummah issues. In addition, the foreign ministers meet annually in one of the OIC member states. Within OIC, there are several working actors. First, Council of Foreign Ministers to adopt and review a decision, consider and approve programs, bring issues to the table that seems fit. Second, standing committees to advance critical importance of the organization. Third, Executive Committee. And fourth, Committee of Permanent Representative. There are also numerous subordinate bodies, such as the Islamic Development Bank, the Islamic Organization for Education, Science and Culture, and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Islamic States. In economic realm, OIC has contributed a lot for the goods of the Muslim world. During the 1970s, expansive development took place in the organization as the OIC demonstrated to the world that its existence not merely aims to be a defensive representation of the Muslim world, but also to be a platform of cooperation of the Islamic community in economic and financial issues. The adoption of the Makkah Declaration in 1981 marked the organization's keen interest in strengthening the commercial and trade collaboration among Muslim countries. As Ekmeleddin Ihsanoglu, ex-Secretary General of Organization of Islamic Conference, said during the 2009 International Islamic University of Malaysia's conference, enhancing economic and greater commercial cooperation among OIC member states is considered to be one of the prominent priorities of OIC. The OIC Charter also highlights the necessity of cooperation for economic progress and the need to help the member states develop their productive capacity. The OIC has given serious efforts to construct the necessary institutional and multilateral legal framework within which the member states are able to cooperate by initiating and implementing joint economic actions. There are plenty of achievements of OIC in developing economic cooperation among its member states. As you can see on the list, OIC has done many initiatives and programs in order to develop economic cooperation among its member states. OIC has created Islamic Development Bank, founded the Islamic Commission for Economic, Cultural and Social Affairs, established Statistical, Economic and Social Research and Training Center for Islamic Countries, formed the Islamic Center for Technical and Vocational Training and Research, established the Islamic Chamber of Commerce and Industry, establish the Standing Committee for Economic and Commercial Cooperation of the Organization of the Islamic Conference, establish the Islamic Center for Development of Trade, set up the Organization of Islamic Ship Owners Association. One of the most progressive bodies within OIC in terms of economic and financial enhancement efforts is COMCEC. The COMCEC initiated the work for the establishment of 3 multilateral financial schemes in order to promote intra-OIC trade among its members. The first is Longer-Term Trade Financing Scheme in 1987. It was created to promote exports of non-conventional goods by providing funds. The second, Islamic Corporation for the Insurance of Investment and Export Credit. It was created in 1996 to enlarge the trade transaction and the flow of investment among member countries by providing insurance and reinsurance for export credit and foreign investment. The third, Agreement on the Multilateral Islamic Clearing Union in 1992 to create a system for facilitating the settlement of the monetary transactions among the members of the Union through providing an opportunity for them to pay in their national currency units while trading with other member countries. At present, there are other 8 essential agreements created by OIC on economic cooperation. They are General Agreement for Economic, Technical and Commercial Cooperation, Agreement for the Promotion, Protection and Guarantee of Investment, Framework Agreement on Trade Preferential System, Protocol on the Preferential Tariff Scheme for TPS-OIC, TPS-OIC Rules of Origin, Statute for the Islamic Civil Aviation Council, Statute of Islamic States Telecommunication Union, and Statute for the Standards and Meteorology Institute for Islamic Countries. All of OIC's efforts to help its member states to have a good quality of economic and financial sector have resulted in some sweet fruits. The first sector of effects can be seen in OIC's member state share in world GDP. As you may see on the table, the share in world GDP of OIC's member countries have a consistent rise from year to year. The percentage was lower since 2015 because of the rise of the developed countries' contribution to the world GDP. Thus, it doesn't mean that the OIC member states were declining in its essence. You can look at the accumulation of the US dollar of OIC's GDP share. They are rising. In 2020, the share of GDP in US dollar was decreasing due to the presence of the COVID-19 pandemic. Because other countries also experienced the same drastic decline, the decline in OIC's GDP share is not something to be ashamed of. The second factor to see the effectiveness of OIC is visible on the data of intra-OIC export. Intra-OIC export are exports of goods and service exchange between the OIC member states in US dollar. In recent years, there has been a steady percentage of trade activities among OIC members. This implies that the OIC framework of plans to breach the trade cooperation of its member states has an impact. Thanks to the OIC, Islamic world has a platform to work together, particularly in the economic field. We hope that OIC may provide another breakthrough to strengthen the bond of Islamic community, and we also hope that the Islamic countries are willing to put their trust and efforts for the OIC. Thanks for watching. I hope you can gain new knowledge from this video. And see you!